2, 1, blast off! Captain's log. Stardate 2411201.4. We're coming to the conclusion that gender is a lot like space. It's vast, dark, infinite, and it is dangerous to go out there without a suit. We've discovered that in space, it's very difficult to go to the toilet. In fact, you might want to take this just for your own safety. This solar system contains 2 planets, planets man and woman. Both have enormous gravitational pull. Inhabitants may request permission to leave one and travel to the other, but they cannot be guaranteed either safe passage or a friendly welcome. On our voyage, we've encountered alien life forms, some of which are hostile, others of which are amorous, and also hostile. But travelling between the planets, we saw satellites in the sky and alien moons. We began to wonder whether being lost in space might be better than the pull of gravity and the weight of tradition. We began to wonder what might happen if we ignored the dials and compasses and just turned off the lights. Don't step on a crack or you'll fall and break your back. But I wonder, what of those of us who slip through the cracks or pace them back and forth, slipping between them not like spirits, graceful, but with the brusque, abrupt force of an entire human body trying to make a shape for itself in this world against the coarse graft of concrete. Anxiety in the night, mind racing, thoughts chasing, questions of lessons half learned and still bracing, and the pain of recent loss still fresh cut in my mind, a fresh slice. My aunt used to say that when you wiggled your tooth before it fell out, the pain was nice, and now I know exactly what she means, because I lie awake every night wiggling my teeth to remember the friends that we used to be before I started becoming. Becoming. Because coming out means that you come out into something. It's though you burst forth from the closet, somehow armed with a new wardrobe and a fresh body, straight off the rack. Because after coming out, there's no going back. For me, coming out was more like unravelling. One night I started half conscious from a dream and sleepily grasped the ribbon of myself and started pulling. But I awoke to find my entrails in my hands and the bodies of those I loved lying bloody at the foot of my bed. They looked at me in fear, begging me to make it stop. But I was powerless in the wake of my awakening. I had already started becoming. Sometimes I think the reason that cis people fear us is because we remind them that they too are a constant process. That's why they only ever tell our stories in between a before and after photo, as if somehow in between that condensed, scrawling thing and a face that cracks with lines, a person comes out whole. As if by paying their rights to the guardians of the before and after, they can tell their own story without ever having to step on the crack and risk the damage to their own back, without ever having to pause and just be. Just be in the in-between. I catch myself sometimes adjusting the colour of my shirt with meticulous precision, allowing those few millimetres of fabric to spell out just how anxious I might feel that day, foretelling like tea leaves whether a stranger will stare or address me, "All right, love," or shiftily look away. I catch myself terrified that I might fall through the cracks of my own shirt. But that too is progress, or at least a part of the process of becoming. And I am becoming happier with becoming in between, less concerned with what I mean, and more concerned with where I'm going and who is waving ribbons and not entrails into the winds of change that are always blowing. Not a magical before and after transformation that leaves behind a shoe and a happily ever after, but the cracks of pavements drying in the sun, growing against the shape of the world.